With the Carolina Panthers coming back from a horrible loss last week to the New Orleans Saints in the opener, the boys in black, blue, and white prowl back home for its home opener, hoping for better results, to which they did not have last week. Want to find out how they performed? Stay tuned to Growlin' and Prowlin'. Welcome back, Panther Nation. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. Of course, you guys know I am the one and only Mr. CeeLo. And yeah, I'm at a shock because it was another disastrous performance by our offense. But the way I want to start this is I do want to give a growl out to J.C. Horn as well as Shaq Thompson. Because these guys, and I want to say Josie Jewell, he made some plays as well. But, and you know, yeah, I'm just going to give a growl out to those guys because J.C. Horn had a huge interception, and a lot of people are going to be angry at him because he got burned. Listen, all the great ones get beat. And I know what people are going to say, well, this is the second time he's been beat deep. That was a great throw by Justin Herbert, and Quentin Johnston made a great catch on it. It happens. But then he made up for it with a wonderful interception. As I said, Shaq Thompson, 14 tackles. Josie Jewell, 11. A'Shawn Robinson had a pretty good game, but outside of that, there was very little to look at. DJ Johnson split a sack with Jaden Peavy, but yeah, I'll hit the defensive line as soon as we get done with the offense. But I also want to talk about the defense first because the offense, I'm going to stay on it. Needless to say, guys, the defense has got to get better stopping the run. I mean, this was a repeat of what the Raiders did. I mean, I told you guys in the pre-show, J.K. Dobbins was going to be the guy. Look at this, 17 carries, 131 yards, and a score. He had a 43-yarder. Justin Herbert, once again, he threw for 130 yards. That bomb to Quentin Johnston was the longest one he threw the entire day, 29 yards. But they ran as a team, they ran for over 219 yards.
God damn.
219 yards.
Bruh. Damn you.
That's unacceptable, Coach Avero.
Is that your best? That was pathetic.
And it goes back to the same old thing that I've been saying. Where are the players that we need? The hard part about seeing this is we cannot keep placing the emphasis on Bryce Young when we can't stop the run. We have to be able to stop the run. And there's just no other way of shaking it. I mean, we got a fumble. We got a interception. And you just turn around and you give it right back to him, Bryce. And the fact remains, he's trying to anticipate on his throws, which I don't understand why we're still trying to do that. There's been several times where we see routes that look like the exact same routes that we were running when we had Frank Wright. 4 short curls, nothing going down the field.
Bruh.
Not a thing. not taking any shots. And it's just getting downright ugly. It's getting downright ugly, and it's getting downright redundant. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to go into the offense, but the reality of it is you gave away some great players on that defense. And I'm going to keep harping on this. You gave away Frankie Louvu. You let Edo Gross-Matos walk. You let Jeremy Chin walk. And Brian Burns would be a totally different feel had you kept those guys. And then you overpay these offensive guards who've only done halfway decent. At least you can hang your hat on the defense. We can't even stop nobody now. But anyhow, we gave up over 219. We gave up 219 yards on the ground. But we knew from the outset, this is what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. We know Harbaugh wants to run the ball. We know he wants to run the ball. But we couldn't stop nobody. We couldn't stop anything. And the fact of the matter is, at what point, with Derrick Brown gone, can you make the argument that you need to put more guys in the box? Because in my opinion, Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn did great jobs in coverage. Some point, you got to turn somebody loose. Can't keep getting beat running the football. Now, with that being said, let's look at the offense. Honestly, I don't understand why you're even attempting to give Miles Sanders the football. He doesn't run with any kind of Chuba Hubbard had 10 carries, 64 yards. Miles Sanders, 7 for 20. And he made some really good plays even in the passing game. 4 catches, 12 yards. I'm just not sold on this gentleman. And then here's the thing. We came back. Tommy Tremble's back on his first game back. He had 3 catches, 23 yards. Thielen, 2 for 20. Deontay Johnson, 3 for 15. Jatavian Sanders, 2 for 8. Mingo had 1 for a yard. And the problem we're running into, it's not necessarily these guys are not getting open. I'm looking at a lot of these play calls, and I'm like, what is that?
What the?
Are we getting to the point that we're simplifying this offense for Bryce that these guys are, is that how simple this offense is, Dave Canellis? Panther Nation, this team looks a lot like Frank Reich's team last year, with the only difference is we could actually stop somebody last year. We can't stop wet toilet paper this year.
You weak, pathetic fool. Too easy.
That's bad combination. When you sell out on offense and you got a bad defense. And I'm not saying they're all bad. We just can't stop the run, guys. And that is not a good formula for offense that's needing reps, needing opportunities. Now, we had a couple of moments where we got them off the field. But, guys, 200 yards? 200 yards? That's unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And, guys, I don't know you don't want to hear this, but they held the football 36 minutes. 36 minutes. That's why it is so important. I would rather my quarterback give the football away with a deep bomb down the field, so at least you flip the field, than this little short stuff. The other issue I have is we're not running enough misdirection. And the thing that I have a problem with is if we run a receiver or running back on an end around, we're always giving it to them. Why not see what the defense is going to do and just give it to the running back off tackle or off guard? See what happens. See how you get those linebackers and them safeties shifting over. You're not going to know what's going to work until you actually do that. My whole point is I want to run that to see if it's going to be open. Because if you run that wide receiver that way, speaking of which, we didn't even see Amir Smith today. Didn't even see him. I do love the fact that we ran some double tight end, but that was only the run. Putting Jatavian Sanders and Tommy Tremble on the field at the same time, but you throw? How confusing is that for defense? We got a lot of weapons. Johnson, Tremble, Sanders, Thielen, Leggett, Mingo. Why not draw up plays specifically for them? You're giving too much for our quarterback to process, and he is not processing well at all. He's still struggling on figuring out where the blitzes are coming from, where the pressure is coming from, where his hot reads need to be. This looks like a simplified offense. You can sit here and say you're trying to build confidence, but at what point? At what point is it going to be something that he can understand? That segues me into Bryce Young. Bryce, I'm trying to be your supporter, but looking at the Panther boards, the chat rooms, it's not looking good, buddy. And I'm trying to be your biggest supporter. But right now, you're not reading well. Dave Canellis, you're not getting him in positions where he can make successful throws. You need to set it up where these guys are getting open. You're not scheming guys open. That was what was your strong point was supposed to be. Deontay Johnson gets separation. So some of this has to do with your scheme. You have to use all 53 yards of the field in your scheme. You can't have this guy going for a 5-year curl, this guy going for a 5-yard curl, this guy going for a 5-yard curl, and this one going for a 7-yard curl. You got to have something developing behind that, because guess what? If Bryce doesn't find the right guy open, that play's dead. That play is dead. No complications in these route trees that you're running. No complication in them. No complex concepts that are going on in these schemes. The coverages work right into them. It's almost like they're saying, hey, this is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. Now, I will say this. Will I say that sacks played a big part in this game? Yes and no. Bryce got away with the pressure, but the one sack he took at the hands of Joey Bosa, I'm sitting here putting my hands on my head like, really? But guys, I'm telling you like this. A lot of you are calling for Andy Dalton. It does us no good. I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys. It does not do us any good. Because guess what? You went out, you put yourself back in the situation that you did with Steve Wilks. And a lot of you know how I feel. Steve Wilks should still be the coach here. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you go ahead and you put Andy Dalton in there, you're basically saying in a nutshell that you're going to stick with Bryce Young, because guess what? The quarterbacks that are in this year's draft, they're not going to be available if you get Andy Dalton and he starts opening up this offense. It's not. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is a situation where it's almost like, okay, we pull Bryce Young from the starting lineup? And it's a fair question. Do we pull him? Is it going to mess up his confidence? And a lot of people are saying, yeah, it would destroy his confidence as a player. But the reality of it is, he doesn't look confident out there throwing the football. I mean, look at it, guys. Look. He was 8 of 16 in this game. He's completing 69% of his passes. But here's the problem. He's got a total rating of 44.1 in 2 games. He's got 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. He's completing 55.4% of his passes in total for a grand total of 245 yards. Now, you want to know what's ironic about this, you guys? And I'm trying my best to be a fan of Bryce Young's. I'm trying my best to not sway on Bryce. Because the reality of it is we gave up a lot. We gave up an immense amount. Now, probably the one thing that if this does not go right, a lot of people are going to be able to say is Frank Wright was right about wanting C.J. Stroud. Because a lot of the issues they were showing in the broadcast, you guys, Bryce was on his tiptoes. And if you notice, that's impeding him throwing his arm strength in a lot of ways. I think what's going to have to happen is Bryce going to have to step back and he's going to have to call up one Drew Brees. He's going to have to call up Drew Brees. Because this can't keep happening. Can't. But your final score, Chargers 26, Panthers 3. Guys, make sure you leave me a comment down. Leave me your name down in the comments if you subscribe to the channel so I can know who you are. Please do so I can add you to the roster and Growling and Prowling family. Also, go to the Facebook page as well and check out the questions that I will be posing there, as well as going to the Instagram under the name of Mr. CeeLo and tell me what you think of the show and ways we can make this show better. But thank you guys so much. Please, please, please bear with Bryce. I know it's 2 games and it's not looked good, but being pissed off and upset is not going to make it better. But until the next time, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.